Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jelen. Now today we're going to talk about two functions that are going to seem pretty much useless until we bring it home tomorrow. I'm going to talk about the index function and the offset function. The index function is when you have some range of data. So let's say I'm interested in this range here from C1 out to E17. And I want a function that'll return the value at a particular row and a particular column. So the index function says, take the index of C1 to E17, give me the data that's in the row number at B2 and the data that's in the column number at B3. Now I set up a conditional format here so we can actually see this. So if we ask for row 1, column 1, we're just going to get the 1 from C1. But if we ask for, let's say, row 7, column 3, then we're going to get the 41 that's out at the end. And when I first saw this, I have to admit, I had no idea what it would be useful for. But tomorrow you'll see how we can use this with the match function. But while we're talking about index, let me talk about the kind of related function. It's called the offset function. Now the offset function has 5 arguments. Here with the offset function, you start from a single cell. So I'm going to start from the green cell in C2, and we say that we want to go a certain number of rows down, a certain number of columns right, and then return a range that is a certain height and a certain width. So here I have that function set up again with a conditional format so we can see it. If I say to start from C2, that's the green cell, and go 1 row down, 0 columns right, return a height and width of 1, then I'm going to get this yellow cell. Now this is very flexible. Let's say that I wanted to go 2 columns over and ask for something that was 4 rows high. Now I'll be able to point to that specific range. So there's times when you need to do some conditional summing or something like that where you'll want to use the offset function. And since the offset function can return more than one cell, you'll usually want to use that in conjunction with a sum or an average. Two very interesting functions, index and offset. Now yesterday we talked about VLOOKUP. Tomorrow I'll show you how to use the index function combined with match to replace VLOOKUP, sometimes doing something that is much, much faster than a whole series of VLOOKUPs. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another netcast from Mr. Excel.